Hello there, welcome to your latest 10-day trend from the Met Office. And so far this summer, the 10-day trend has all been about heat waves or thunderstorms. And this one's going to be slightly different. So looking at the upper air pattern at the moment and the jet stream, the UK has been in this dip of a jet stream over the last few days. Low pressure sat in the middle of this dip. We've seen unsettled conditions, heavy showers and thunderstorms for many of us over the last few days. But it's all changed over the next few days. If we just play the jet stream pattern on for the next few days, we can see how we lose the dip in the jet stream and the jet stream becomes a bit more mobile, a bit more westerly across the UK. And what that allows is weather fronts to move in, particularly across northern and western parts. But at the same time, the Azores high behind me here is starting to try and push some ridging up from the southwest at times, and you can almost see a bit of a north-south split developing. This area of low pressure interacting with the jet stream here, you can see on Saturday and later into Sunday on our global model, there's some uncertainty around that with the details. So we'll come on to that in a moment, but the main sort of features are coming in from the Atlantic, which is always a fresher direction. So having a quick look at the forecast for Friday, and a bit of a northwest-southeast split across the UK, quite cloudy conditions across the north and the west, a weak weather front pushing its way eastwards with some patchy light rain and drizzle at times, becoming a little brighter, but notice temperatures here 17 to 21 Celsius, fresher and breezy with that westerly wind. But further south and east, particularly across central southern parts of the UK, temperatures in the sunshine rising to the mid to locally high 20s, so a warm afternoon to come. Then for Saturday, a fairly cloudy day. There'll be some bright or sunny spells. There'll be a scattering of showers as well. And then just behind me here, this area of low pressure moving into the southwest. Uncertainties with the development of this. It really needs the interaction with the jet stream to develop into an area of low pressure, but it could start to bring some rain across some southwestern parts later in the day. But for the vast majority, it should be a fairly dry day, a scattering of showers, so the umbrella will be needed, and temperatures high teens to low 20s across many parts centrally across the UK there, 25, 26 Celsius still possible. So just taking a look at different model outputs for the weekend and concentrating on that area of low pressure. Our global model here from the Met Office really sort of sticks out compared to other models, developing a deep area of low pressure just to the southwest of the UK through Saturday and into Sunday, whilst other models, ECMWF for example on the right, top right there, you can see it doesn't really have that deep area of low pressure, and similar for the GFS with this more of a westerly flow pushing away any low pressures quicker. That also then has an impact on our rainfall through the weekend. These are showing two different past model runs. The top left picture here and the bottom left picture is our global model. You can see the previous model from the system here created some very intense rainfall amounts, 50, 60, 70, 80 millimetres plus in places across the southwest of the UK, whilst other models, ECMWF in the middle, GFS on the right there, indicates much lower amounts. In fact, the ECMWF here keeps the heaviest rainfall rates away from the UK. And now looking at the most recent rainfall from our model runs, you can see how the rainfall totals are much lower on our latest global model, still higher compared to, say, ECMWF, which actually keeps rainfall amounts much lower. So it just shows the uncertainty is there for Saturday and into Sunday with the development of that low pressure system. Probably most likely there'll still be some heavy showers around, but the main sort of heavy and more persistent rain largely likely to miss the UK, but just shows you there is the potential there for some heavier rain into southwestern parts, which you'll need to watch. So here's a look at the forecast using our extended high-res data for Sunday, and it does develop a lot of heavy showers across central southern parts, which may or may not come off. They may start to ease later on in the day, depending on the development and the movement of that low pressure through Saturday night into Sunday. And temperatures once again above average, and we can see that nicely on the anomaly charts for the next few days, Friday and into Saturday. Particularly England and Wales, the reds there on the map indicating temperatures above average, something a little cooler across the northwest. Into next week, when we start to see that more westerly mobility starting to develop, temperatures actually back down nearer to average for the time of year. Generally, you can just about see some blue hues across northern and western parts, occasionally a little red on the far east with a bit of shelter, but something a little cooler on the way to end the weekend and the beginning of next week. So talking about next week and looking at the 5 to 10 day period, we can see generally we're still going to keep a westerly regime in terms of our weather pattern. This is the most likely weather pattern set up for Tuesday the 29th of July. We can see the Azores high trying to extend across the southwest. This is using ECMWF data, and low pressure to the north indicating some windier conditions here, but also the risk of some rain coming in at times. This high pressure may just move around a little bit through the course of next week. So if we take a look at Thursday, for example, you can see the most likely scenario is just the high to push a little further north and eastwards, just allowing drier than average weather to develop across southern and western parts. But at the same time, notice the wind direction still coming in from the north and northwest, so quite a cool direction. Any sheltered eastern and southeastern parts likely to see the warmest temperatures, but temperatures likely near average for many. As you can see, the percentage chance of this starts to drop off the further we go out. This high pressure could still move around a little bit. There is some model outputs that sort of allow the high to push a little further south. We may see them weather fronts come in from time to time, particularly across the north, but they may make their way further south as well. So if you're expecting rain through next week, the further north and west you are, more likely to see rain. The further south and southeast you are, you're more likely to be drier with sunny spells, but there could still be a little rain around, typical summer conditions. If we take a look at Europe for next week, these are the temperature anomaly maps from ECMWF, and you can actually see after what has been a hot summer so far across Europe, the week ahead into the next week, 5 to 10 days, it's indicating the temperature anomaly is going to be slightly below normal. So if there are any chances that we switch our wind directions to a bit more of a southerly direction over the course of next week, which is looking fairly unlikely with more of a west-northwesterly flow, temperatures across Europe being a little below average, we won't see the return of that extreme heat like we have done so far this summer. So if we look at the probability plot over the course of the next 2 weeks, we can see initially low pressure in charge at the moment, giving that unsettled weather, but quickly the Azores high allowing it to settle down. But just notice how there is a north-south split, a 50-50 split with low pressure, high pressure as we end July and go into the beginning of August. This is that Azores high, the yellows there indicating the Azores high coming in from the southwest. So again, indicating that north-south split with low pressure always nearby the further north you are. But just hints as we get towards the beginning of August, the Scandinavian high and higher pressure to the north of the UK just showing up on some models, which may just indicate through into August a settling down of the weather, something a little warmer and drier. But for now, generally overall a north-south split with the weather, with a mixed picture overall. Low pressure likely to the north, high pressure to the south. Typical summer weather. Temperatures near average, but they could be warm and it will be pleasant at times in that sunshine. The sunshine's still strong at this time of year. It's largely going to be dry towards southern parts compared to the north, but not exclusively. We will see some showers, some spells of rain perhaps at times through the next 5 to 10 days. But overall, very much like a normal summer, something we haven't really seen so far. So if you'd like more information on the weather for the next few days, you can go to our app, our website, and don't forget to click subscribe on our YouTube channels for all the updates. See you again soon.